Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to episode 126 of the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. I am Stephen Rothberg, the founder of College Recruiter Job Search Site and one of your two co-hosts on a frigid day here in Minneapolis. And I think my two guests aren't quite as cold. Speaking of co-host, Peter Zollman. Good to see you.
It's actually lovely today in Atlanta, and I got the Porsche Experience Center to put up a picture of my next car behind me. I thought that was very nice of them.
You wouldn't be allowed anywhere near one of those.
They have them out on the track for us to drive later. But in any case, greetings. I'm Peter Zollman of the AIM Group. We do a conference called Rec Buzz that's coming up soon, all about job boards and recruitment marketplaces. And we provide content and consulting. And we have today with us Tim Macalino. He's CEO of Bandana. Macalino is apparently a Filipino name that means young entrepreneur, I'm guessing. He's with Bandana, which is a recruitment site for blue-collar jobs based in Brooklyn, a few blocks from my son's house. So we'll have to get together when I'm up there. And we are going to talk to him about Bandana. Why don't you tell us where you got the inspiration and how you picked the name, and then we'll get to the building traffic, et cetera.
Yeah, so inspiration from Bandana came from my parents. We immigrated here from the Philippines when I was 6 years old. My dad started out working at a manufacturing company and was an engineer at Toyota for a long time, and now he still works at Toyota kind of building center. And my mom, when we came here, largely worked in clothing and manufacturing. So there's just a lot of this like blue collar love that I've always really had, especially because my parents are blue collar workers, and then later transitioned more into like office roles. So when I got the chance to attend a great school and then worked for a few years, I was like, okay, I really want to build a company. What would my parents be super proud of? And if I can build basically the world's best home for blue collar, hourly, and entry level workers with Bandana, that was really exciting for us. So that's where a lot of the inspiration came from. And I think a lot of our team believes that here, which is why we focus so much on the worker. In terms of where the name came from, when we kind of thought of the company, we wanted to make a brand. And what was really important for us was something that symbolized working really hard and being kind of like part of a movement almost. And when we heard of Bandana, we immediately thought of Rosie the Riveter, farmers across the country, urban culture. And we kind of felt like that was a great home for what could be really representative of the type of user that we really try to drive to Bandana.
That's so awesome. And I hadn't heard the naming story, but it's fantastic. Also, please pass along to your parents. Maybe they watch this. That immigrant story is what makes this country great. So thank you and thank them. You and I connected a couple of years ago. I think that was sort of shortly after, Bandana launched and was getting some traction. My recollection from those early conversations is that your traffic had basically gone from zero, which is normal for an organization that starts, to hundreds of thousands. I think it was something like 800,000 in a month or something very quickly. Other than, Zeus looking down on you and bestowing good fortune, like, how did you do that?
Yeah, so now Bandana has been around for more than 2 years. We're in 12 cities. We have close to 2 million monthly active users on our platform every month, and tens of millions of page views now, actually, every month. And largely 90% of that is still organic today. And the real question is, like, how do we think about that as a company? So The first thing that we thought of is when we thought about building in the job world is how do we actually attract a lot of users onto the platform that would really differentiate us from anything else they see that's currently out there. And so I think many of the places today run a lot more like Google Ads rather than Google Search, meaning that in order to have a job on their platform, it needs to be paid for. It needs to be something that like generates some sort of monetary revenue. And we kind of thought, what if we create a job search that is fully comprehensive? So that's kind of like the first part to igniting traffic is especially in the cities that we're in, we are like the most comprehensive job platform that you can find in terms of even like a per block radius of how many jobs that we have. We were like, let's put in as many jobs as we can as possible. The second thing that we did is there was a lot of pay transparency laws coming out. There was a lot of AI coming out. And we said, hey, now that we have the opportunity to enrich data to a really incredible level, let's do it in scale. So every job that comes into Bandana, before you had to do something like this super manual, but now with AI and LLMs, you can then attach an address to every job on Bandana. You can attach pay and grab it properly from every listing. You can save that pay. You can then tell an LLM to take out, hey, what is the standardized education experience, and all of these fields that make it really comprehensive. So now you've built this product that is like, hey, we have a ton of jobs, the most jobs when we're out in this location than anyone else has. And then we have as much information that anyone else has all on Bandana. So it's a really great experience. And that's where our distribution comes in. So I'm also a very big believer in social media distribution and media distribution. We have a team of 6 people here that are actually just full time on media. And we kind of thought about, hey, how do we attract people to the platform at scale and get hundreds of millions of views to our platform to attract people on the jobs? So if you think about like whether it's like a nice car or like a nice house, that's actually what a lot of content providers do today, right? Like they'll try to get you to watch something because it's a incredible car. Maybe it's that Porsche right behind you that you love, or a really beautiful house that no one else has. And we kind of thought, can we do something similar like that for jobs? So we were like, okay, in the cities that we're in, not just like the typical investment banking, software engineering type job, why don't we showcase the jobs that like a lot of retail blue collar people love? So for example, here in New York, the pinnacle retail job is Costco. But instead of telling you, hey, Costco pays $20 an hour, Bandana's videos tell you, hey, Costco starts you out at $20 an hour. Every 1,040 hours that you work here in Costco, you get a dollar raise, and you can earn up to $32 per hour here in Costco. So after 6 years, you're earning $32 per hour. And then on Sundays, they pay you 1.5x. So you're earning close to $46, $47, $48 an hour on Sundays. And after your 7th year, you get a biannual bonus of $5,000 to $10,000. And so when we share content like that to people, all of that starts going very viral. And we can do that for almost any job, any country, any location. And that's how Bandana started originally organically of like, hey, like let's push out this type of behavior, get millions of views on it. And then when people actually land on Bandana, they see that we explain all of that. And we talk about all of that. So that you can go retail, or you can start talking about the fire department, how much the FDNY makes here in New York City or in any other city. And people love this type of content. We use a lot of LLMs to break down a lot of union contracts and contracts overall. So we get this step down behavior. And then we make really good organic content that pushes people into our platform. So that was kind of like the Flint starter. And then going back to, oh, this is actually a really good product. When people land on it, everyone ends up staying, they tell their friends. And that's kind of how we've built this fire of millions of users now using our platform to job search.
Hey, this is William Tincup, and you should know about the You Should Know podcast. It's a topical, fun podcast with Ryan, myself, and a guest, or guests plural sometimes, and we tackle the most timely topics of the day. Give it a look, give it a listen, and subscribe. Thanks.
So you're in 12 cities. Is the next step more cities? Is the next step growing in those cities? Is the next step finding venture capital? What are you guys doing next? And let's see if we can do this kind of rapid fire from here.
Yeah. So, in terms of the 12 cities that we're in, our main goal is to be in the top 25 largest cities in America in the next 3 months. So, that's a big push for us. And then by the end of the year, our plan is to go nationwide. We think about traffic in terms of like percentage of penetration versus the population of that area. So, in the cities that we're in, we try to target 3% monthly users versus the population of that area. Nationwide, we're trying to target about 1% that we're fully pushing for. In terms of venture capital, we're actually quite well funded right now. We've raised two announced rounds, but we actually just raised an unannounced round 3 months ago that has increased our valuation quite a bit more. And essentially, we feel really good in this next year to go nationwide and become one of the big players, hopefully.
We got time for one more, Stephen. I think you want to take it.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. So the 12 cities that you're in, the 25 that you're going to, have you found much of a difference? I mean, obviously, New York being your home, I think that was your first. Have there been cities that you've gone to where it just works really differently? Have you noticed big differences between them? And we have like 30 seconds.
Yeah, great question. And yes, so we thought that doing a copy and paste from New York to anywhere else would just be super easy. Turns out there are different types of jobs people love across the country. So, for example, when we launched in LA, what really took it off is when we started putting entertainment jobs on the
Ah,
platform. When we launched in San Francisco, we started adding a lot of tech jobs on the platform that we weren't really adding before, a lot of the entry level tech jobs. And that made a huge difference. So, when we start launching in areas like the Midwest, a lot of the car manufacturers, a lot of the manufacturing jobs, basically the jobs that are the industry leaders in that area are really important to launching on Bandana.
it's almost like it's important to know your customer.
Exactly.
Tim, this fascinating. There's so much of what you shared I had no idea about, and I thought I knew a fair amount about Bandana. Peter, any closing words?
Yep. Thank you very much. When I'm next in Williamsburg, which will be 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get in touch and we should definitely catch up in person. Stephen, a pleasure as always. Thank you for managing this process. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Peter. I really appreciate your time.
Cheers.